Last fall, a group of over 100 college presidents, including the heads of Dartmouth, Virginia Tech, and Duke, signed a declaration stating that the 21-year-old drinking age is not working, and fireworks went off. But the presidents got what they wanted, a national debate about the drinking age. When the age was raised to 21 in the mid-1980s, the goal was to reduce highway fatalities. But everyone knows that the 21 age limit hasn't stopped minors from drinking. And now some experts believe it's actually contributing to an increase in extreme drinking. This is what the former president of Middlebury College in Vermont, John McArdle, believes, and it's why he has started the movement dedicated to lowering the age back to 18. It may seem counterintuitive, but he argues that lowering the age will make kids safer. Now, you're going to see a lot of young people drinking in this story. Undoubtedly, some of them are under 21.
Where did you get the alcohol from?
I got it from a friend.
It's like the old days of Prohibition. From the suburbs to college campuses to inner cities, kids find ways to get around the 21-year-old limit.
You're 15, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to call your parents.
As John McArdle of Middlebury College puts it, it's so widespread, it's the norm.
This law has been an abysmal failure. It hasn't reduced or eliminated drinking. It has simply driven it underground, behind closed doors, into the most risky and least manageable of settings.
Like basements, fraternity houses, and locked dorm rooms, where kids go to hide from the law and from adults, including parents, who might teach them some moderation. McArdle says the law has created a dangerous culture of irresponsible and reckless behavior, unsupervised binge and extreme drinking. This is called 6 and 10, downing 6 cups of beer in 10 seconds. Kids try to perfect the art of getting drunk as fast as possible by playing drinking games and preloading, downing as much of the forbidden fruit as possible before going out in order to avoid getting caught drinking in public.
What have you been drinking? What have you been drinking? Hey.
It's bad law in that it is unworkable. It's bad social.
Well, is it unworkable or people just don't enforce it?
The issue of enforceability is present, but the fact is it is so regularly and routinely avoided that enforcement of results in 2 arrests or convictions for every 1,000 violations.
We're not in a situation where we can stop it. The best we can do is try to contain it.
Mark Beckner, the chief of police in Boulder, Colorado, a college town, deals with underage drinking every day. So you're basically telling us that you simply can't enforce the law. They are drinking and you cannot enforce it?
Well, we do enforce it, but what we're seeing is it's not being effective.
Beckner has tried many different kinds of enforcement techniques over the years, including strict crackdowns.
We find a party where we know there's underage drinking, we would seal the house, surround the house with officers, and we would write every single underage person coming out of that house. We wrote hundreds and hundreds of tickets those years. All we did is we pushed it further underground.
For that reason, he is one of the few chiefs of police in the country who publicly agrees with McArdle and supports lowering the drinking age. So what's the advantage to lowering the age to 18?
The overall advantage is we're not trying to enforce a law that's unenforceable. The abuse of alcohol and the overconsumption of alcohol and DUI driving, those are the areas we've got to focus our efforts, not on chasing kids around trying to give them a ticket for having a cup of beer in their hand.
Part of Beckner's jurisdiction is the University of Colorado at Boulder, known as one of the country's top party schools. Boulder was the scene of the terrible tragedy of Gordie Bailey. Gordie was 18, a freshman at the university in 2004. He had been there only 1 month when he underwent a Chi Psi fraternity initiation with 26 other pledges, also underage. Leslie and Michael Lanahan are Gordie's mother and stepfather.
They went off to the mountain and asked them to drink 10 gallons of alcohol in half an hour.
Not beer, alcohol, hard alcohol.
Hard alcohol and wine combined.
You were certainly viewed as a better man if you could handle more.
So do you know how much Gordie actually drank?
It had 15 to 20 shots if you had to measure it. They were not putting it in shots and drinking it. They were just guzzling it out of the neck of the bottle.
By the time the group got back to the fraternity house, Lanahan says that Gordy was incapacitated.
His eyes were rolling back in his head, and he couldn't walk. And this isn't somebody that just had too much to drink.
Yeah.
He was clearly in trauma.
Lanahan says that the fraternity brothers put Gordy on the library couch and just left him there alone.
The president of the fraternity did ask several brothers at intervals to go in and take Gordy's pulse, as if to say, tell me if he's alive or dead.
So he's on a couch, passed out, for hours? And hours and hours?
9 hours.
9 hours.
9 hours.
And no one called for help.
Right.
911, where's your emergency?
I need to get an ambulance.
What's going on?
We got a guy who's passed out. He drank way too much, and we found him this morning.
Is he breathing?
I don't know. He's not waking up.
Gordy died alone in an empty room with his friends surrounding him. And it's just very preventable, just inexcusable.
Gordy died of alcohol poisoning. To try and prevent another senseless death, the Lanahans created the Gordy Foundation to spread the word about the dangers of alcohol abuse. And recently they released Haze, a film about excessive drinking on college campuses.
I need to get help.
If the drinking age had been 18 instead of 21, would the kids have called for help when Gordy passed out?
I think so.
So because it was illegal, you think that's why they didn't call?
I think that's right.